Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's me, Chrono JJ, with yet another Athenian League recorded game set that we're watching tonight. We are watching, or today, depending where you are, watching a semifinals between Bachi and CraggHack. It's a DoD. It's a clan. Kind of civil war, so to speak. We are up in the Mythic tier of the Athenian League. There's two or three, I guess, sets of skill levels in the Athenian League, each divided, players divided in different divisions. We are in the top tier in the semifinals. I have a very quick little, as always, my professional looking stats here. Bachi, CraggHack. And I kind of compare the two players here. Bachi with a lot of Norse wins. 7 of his 10 wins with Freyr and Loki. Actually, not. And then you add two more with Thor. You only got one win that was not with Norse. CraggHack, on the other hand, mainly Zeus and Odin. Tried a lot of Poseidon in the regular season, not so much luck. In the first round of the playoffs, Baki had a bye because he was number one in his division. CraggHack had to play really, really strong player, just a massive upset in round one. He defeated Chrono JJ, kind of like a god in the Age of Mythology game. Defeated him, an upset, 3-1 in the first round. And he won with Zeus, Poseidon, and Odin, and I forget what he lost with. Doesn't matter, he won. These players did meet in the regular season, and Baki won their regular season matchup 2-1. So let's get right into our games. I hope they don't go out of sync or anything ridiculous like that. That would make me sad. It would also make Nimonum sad, who's watching in the chat. So we will get right into game number one, which is on The Unknown, as always. The first game in every match is brought to you by The Unknown. And we've got a little fish pack here, kind of nestled away in the corner behind all of these trees. Let me turn off my Discord. I'll hear lots of annoying noises. And I kind of want to see where CraggHack's fish spawned. Also kind of way behind the trees. Well, there's a decent amount of fish here. So a lot of these maps I've noticed on The Unknown will only spawn like 3 fish in a water, which is a bit lackluster. But we've got at least 6 here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we've got more. So this will be a bit of a boosted start with all these fish we've got going on here. What do we got on the players? We've got CraggHack as Zeus, Baki as Thor. So no surprises here with what they will be playing with. We'll see how their land water builds are. Definitely worth it to get on these fish here. You got 3, 6, 9 fish. And since both these players are in the Deities of Death clan, we do know then that at least one player in the finals will be represented by the clan. Winning glory for the name of DoD since 2006-ish. Speaking of 2006, which seems like a long time ago, probably to some of you, if this is the same Baki, I remember playing against Baki back in 2004, 2005 era. He was a pretty good player back then. Not like top player, but like really good. Kind of like your second, third tier of players. You got your first tier that are kind of like the tops, and more like kind of maybe more like third tier of top players. But very good, regardless of what tier you want to put them in. But so if it is Baki's still doing well in Age of Mythology. Apparently has never grown up, just like me. And we have both players reaching the fine classical age, we've got the Labyrinth of Minnows coming forward for our Zeus player. So we will be seeing some Minotaur play, which makes sense against Thor. The Thor player went up with Heimdall, which makes sense because then he can get slightly faster Hersier to try to keep up with these Minotaur here. Now, we did actually see CraggHack scouted. There's an extra set of fish here, 2 sets actually, in the middle part. I'm gonna bet that there's another set down here, probably worth going to. A bit awkward to get here. This map actually is pretty interesting. Because I'm kind of looking at some of these golds. You've got like, you know, a ring of gold scattered around the edge of the map. And then we haven't quite scouted maybe everything yet. Oh, we have. All the other golds are right here. So if you could kind of control this half of the map, you can really put a hurting on your opponent's, you know, available gold mines. Looks like we're seeing some fairly defensive play from Bachi. It looks like he does not want to get absolutely bashed by the Minotaurs that are coming. CraggHack, on the other hand, is going with triple barracks for a lot of hoplites. Just a basic hoplite Minotaur play here. Not a bad idea with all the extra food that comes in, but the food also means more food, of course, for his opponent. So lots of Hersier. Never saw Bachi play. Didn't get a chance to watch any of his games in the regular season, unfortunately. So nice to be able to see him here playing in the semifinals. You don't want to lose your Minotaur here. So knows CraggHack's kind of target is right here. You're going for the kind of the classic Athena gold starve, but it's less going to be about this mine, and depends on what Bachi does. I mean, does he cast Dwarven Mine probably right after this one's out? Likely. So it would probably be for a third second mine, the big fight. As we have our first skirmish here. We got a few throwing axemen. Well, just one. Troll heaves a rock. He misses. And the hoplites run. And randomly catch some Hersier up here. Or a Rainy Cavalry, I mean. And this hoplite kind of is left behind. Scout being annoying. And now we do have a archery range to maybe pick at some of these really annoying little throwing axemen here. You don't really want to fight this if you're CraggHack. It's a lot of units here. Kind of a substantial... Uh-oh. You don't want to donate units like this. Because not only are you losing your military that you need for the battles, you're also, you know, donating favor, and we do have Bachi jumping over to this gold mine, and the Minotaurs are finally coming back. At least this one is finally coming back. And I was kind of thinking that CraggHack would maybe be able to try like a little bit of a timing attack here on the gold mine, but that does not seem like it's coming at all. Instead, he is a little bit worried about his own hunt here, but did put a dock up here. We should have just put it here and gotten on both. So CraggHack, as I mentioned, defeated me in the first round. Played really well, I felt. Lost the first game, then came back and won the next 3 and did well. And he's going to have to play well here, too, obviously, against CraggHack. Here's a big height, or against Bachi. Here's a big fight here. If I were Bachi, I would almost maybe be tempted to fight this. Okay. Force out the restoration in defense, which is really good, and then just head out. Only lost like just a few units. Raiding cavalry a little bit confused over here though. We'll be dead. And we have the restoration used, but not a lot of units here. And then of course we have the healing spring that can come up for Bachi, so that he can heal all of his units. He's making another great haul. He is doing really good on the economy side of things. He's got pickaxe, hand axe. And Bachi has pickaxe, hand axe, husbandry. 4 minotaurs. I mean, you kind of got to know that they're right here, right? I guess this would be another one to check. He's gambling that they're way down here. The gamble is incorrect. See, this is worrisome, though, because if Bachi spots these Minotaur at any time, his response should be to send like 4 Hersier back to defend, and then just attack. But we'll see if he notices. Well, there's such a fight. Oh, wow. All 3 get their attack. Bachi has not noticed this. Because he's busy with his attack up here. He has not noticed. Maybe now he has. Loses a lot of villagers, so he has to make this pressure work. Not paying attention again a little bit. Yeah, throwing Axemen in a bad spot. Oh, you got to move him to the back. There's a little trick that you can do that makes your unit switch spots so quickly. So if they're moving this way, you just click like right here, right behind the formation, and they'll all switch spots. He wins if he runs his Hersier up here right now. Yeah, who cares about the buildings? Run the Hersier up right now. Run him up. Like now it's almost too late, though. He might win this fight anyway. A lot of favor in the bank. Still has a huge military advantage. And CraggHack can't take this fight with the Minotaur away. Now, if CraggHack can actually just hold here for a while, having killed 5 villagers, though somehow is still even, and has some extra fishing ships, he should be all right. But if Bachi lost a little bit of an opportunity there. When he had the army all pushed in, he could have just sent his Hersier all the way up. Does he know this gold mine exists? Oh, he doesn't. We have a bolt, and now the Minotaur down on here. That is a problem. No walls yet. And these Minotaur are being problematic. Yeah, with Thor, you do sacrifice maybe a little bit of scouting. But really, you gotta be thinking about gold mines right now. I mean, yeah, he's pushed off of Hunt, but gotta be thinking about this. We do have our age up. Flaming weapons. Bragi is up, and looks like CraggHack is kind of mismacroed a little bit. Might want to just throw down a market and sell his extra food that he's got. Because timing is pretty important here. I mean, if Bachi realizes that there's gold up here and does like a flaming weapons push, he will put CraggHack in a pretty significant hole. And CraggHack is building his market. He wants to age up. Looks like he aged up without having to sell, but has his market up anyway. And yeah, Bachi doesn't know about it, but he should. Because in Retold, the maps aren't like exactly mirrored, but to some extent, both sides are mirrored. I mean, so like knowing that he has a gold mine down here against the bottom edge of the map should tell him there's going to be gold on the edge of the map on the opponent's side. Now, Bachi might think it's over here, but it's not. And that's where the map kind of isn't mirrored because, you know, this is kind of just flopped. These two are these two. this mine's here. Bachi might be thinking there's another mine here, but it should at least check. But still in a good spot. Behind in villagers, though. But doesn't matter. He's Thor. And Thor slash Norse has a pretty good economy. Having to build around the town center here. Getting a couple hill forts up. He thinks he's like got like this gold strangle. But doesn't realize there's more gold. Like for now, CraggHack can legit ignore this side of the map and just come over and I'm just looking at my monitor, my little one. He's sleeping. Could just, take this town center. And then, he has this next gold mine to fall back to, and then probably this one as well. Eco upgrades should be getting his eco upgrades. And what in the world is all of this? I'm hearing lots of noises that things are being garrisoned, but I don't know where. He's thinking about doing Underworld. He just doesn't know where. He's got to make a decision soon, otherwise Bachi's gonna realize that there's gold up here and just show up on it. Like, he knows this isn't the gold miner's paradise that he was hoping to find, this one. So this isn't the underworld he wants. And really nice wall here. You can't even chase. And yeah, that underworld doesn't quite get the pressure he was hoping for. Is forcing, a little bit of idle time in the economy, but just isn't ultimately quite what he wanted. We do have 2 town centers for both players. Bachi has grabbed a forward one. Bachi's coming forward. Ooh. I would probably have fought that if I were CraggHack. But, well, it does come back over here and is able to kind of trade the underworld for hill fort and maybe another hill fort, probably just one. But I would have been tempted to force this fight to make flaming weapons come out. And then hide in the underworld, because then you could have kind of accomplished the same thing, but maybe hopefully forced out flaming weapons. This is a scary army. I don't know if Bachi at even population can fight this. The interesting thing too, though, is that this is gonna be important here. Yeah, CraggHack gets it. Right now, Bachi has a larger army, but feels like he can't attack, which is keeping him at full pop, but under. Oh, this is a terrible place to fight. There's just a choke point there. So taking some losses, but this is where, though, you do need to have a retreat wall. Otherwise, the Flaming Weapons army can just follow. You have to have, like, a wall here to retreat through. Alright, going at the town center. We'll probably take it down really quickly. Does take it down. Will it be at the expense of his army, though? 13 seconds on flaming weapons. And yeah, it's kind of the classic, I kill your town center, you kill my army. And it's probably not worth it. Depends how quickly CraggHack's able to just respawn and put this back up. He does have this. I don't know. The way you lose there is losing your army, but I think he's still far enough ahead. good eco upgrades, and that might be the eco upgrades might be what's dooming CraggHack here. Yeah, he still doesn't even have his second line of upgrades yet, and that's a problem. He's going to be way behind in economy despite having more villagers for the entirety of the game. Also has no idea that this town center has even been grabbed. Look at these guys coming over here. Trading hill fort for fortress. Bachi he might be a little confused because he probably feels like he's got the gold control and he's missed scouting 3 gold mines up on the edge of the map. Like there would be some concern for Bachi, but it doesn't look like there's any chance of it. Is the oh, and just now getting per sign too. But like there would be some concern if CraggHack is starting to age up with Lightning Storm because you have CraggHack's potential of getting a gold star with a big Lightning Storm fight. But he's just too far behind in economy. And they don't have a Nidhogg coming. Steer. Nimble winner. Nice little positioning here. And he's looking now. He's finally like thinking like, hey, what gives? I've got the gold and this guy still keeps coming back for more. And now comes up here and realizes, ah, that's the gold mine. But where's the other ones? Because if they're not here, they're gathering gold somewhere. CraggHack is, though, fighting for his life here. He's got how many? Yeah, because the play here is not to fight into this if you're Bachi. It's to make sure that CraggHack's out of gold, and he hasn't quite done that. It looks like that's maybe what he's thinking with these raiders. But, like, don't attack here. Just defend with what you need to, you know, while you're throwing axemen. Make sure there's no gold somewhere on the map that Red's mining. Because I feel like every time he runs in here, he takes some pretty heavy losses because of these Taxotes. Though we don't have enough heroes now. Yeah, fall back a little bit. Get him on the other side of the town center. And then it just takes so long for these units to get here. And there's another flaming weapons. I mean, the units here are dwindling, I guess. I think Bachi's going to win just, yeah, here comes Fimbulwinter. I think Bachi's going to win just purely on the fact that he has a much larger economy. You're following my footsteps. I don't know if those are footsteps you want to follow in, but makes you happy. Good to see you. I'm good. And yeah, CraggHack's just... because he forgot all of his military, or not military, his eco upgrades, he's just too far behind. Like, if he has Lightning Storm at this push, he's maybe probably okay, but now his town centers are down and Hera is canceled, and that will be the game right here. And Bachi comes out swinging hard, swinging strong, and despite kind of missing, you know, kind of a fundamental part of the game, which is scouting, he just powers right through with a superior economy. So well done to Bachi. Really pretty quality play. If we probably look at this graph here, it might be a little bit scary. Yeah, CraggHack's, because CraggHack, he's just ahead for so long in villagers. I mean, he's got like a 30 villager difference, which means he loses fights, but should be getting ahead in the economy, but just not happening. I mean, CraggHack's behind all game. despite having 20, 30 more villagers in it, really just comes down to the lack of eco upgrades. I mean, he's still first line. He got his second eco upgrade for his fish so late, and Bachi just a lot better fundamentals here in game one as Bachi comes out and takes the first game win of this series. Best of 5. We are waiting to put Bachi his +1. Best of 5. Hello, Ariels. You essentially in RTS games, you never have too many villagers. Especially Age Mythology, you would never have too many. Game 2. If you find that you have way too many resources, it just then means you're not doing enough, is essentially what that means. It doesn't mean you have too many villagers. All right, game 2 on Elysium, I think. Yep, on Elysium. So CraggHack's Odin. Bachi switched over to Loki. So when I played CraggHack, this is where things started falling apart for me in my series against him. I won the first game, yeah, pretty easily, and then came game 2 and on, and Bachi or CraggHack came out with this map on game 2 with Odin, and that game wasn't close at all. So we'll see if CraggHack's Odin can get him a win against Bachi's Loki. Remember that in the regular season, this was a 2-1 win, series win for Bachi. Now we're in the playoffs, so you got to get 3. And the rule for this tournament, kind of the main rule, I guess you could say, is that when you win with a god, you can't repeat with that god, and that's per player. So CraggHack can still play Thor because it was Bachi who won with Thor. So we kind of fast forward our classical age here with CraggHack on the bottom rightish. So we will swap the scorecards. We've got walls regenerate hit points as a relic. Heroes plus 5% speed. That would be really nice for your Loki to get because he likes heroes anyway. And he is certainly going to be fighting for this relic right here in the middle of the map. It looks like he will. Let's see. Is CraggHack close it? Oh! CraggHack's going to. Oh, so close. Oh, so close. But not quite there. With how valuable that relic is in this matchup, I really would have considered, I know it's a bit unusual, sending your Berserk up just to slow the enemy Hersier down and trying to get that. Because that's a big relic here. But then here's another one. Hero's Lifesteal for 10% of their damage. In the end, that may actually be the better one. Potentially. It just means that in, kind of a actual battle, CraggHack's heroes will do better, but Bachi with his extra speed will be able to probably avoid those big battles. What is this series? So this is a tournament / league that I host called the Athenian League. We are in season 2 of Retold's Athenian League, and we are in the playoffs for this. As far as ELO, these players would be 1600 average, maybe a little bit higher ELO. So pretty good, but not experts. Basically, the point of this league is to give your kind of your wannabe competitive players a league where they can actually compete without having to just get whacked by a top player in like a second round of a playoff, and then kind of what's the point? As we see Forest Fire coming out with no one dying. So the league divides players into skill groups. So I've got 3 different skill groups in the tournament this year. Looks like Bachi's kind of getting some pretty heavy early pressure on here. I'm a little... Some wax in. Can't take the fight, though. Let's see, he's got this relic, so he can kind of just zip on out and be okay. So... we've got here, we've got some pretty close numbers. You can see Bachi's playing this smart. He's trying just to idle the villagers without actually losing hit points, but I think he's decided he can't quite pressure, so you'll try to, you know, get the reinforcements. Bachi is kind of holding a lot of resources in the bank now. He's just put them into raiding cavalry. Got a few more raiding cavalry. Knows these are here, has used his spy, so sees them down here. We're getting thundering hooves and medium cavalry for CraggHack. Both bills are pretty close. Or both players are pretty close in build count. Valk trying just to be annoying. Yeah, it's kind of valuable, this Valk. If you like can run her in when there's a fight and you're hoping your opponent is, you know, is distracted by the fight, you know, in a span of like 20-30 seconds, your Valk could kill like 3 or 4 villagers. Nice to send these raiding cavalry forward. He kind of knows he has the opportunity because Bachi kind of showed his army here, and he's not really under any pressure here. So sends the raiding cavalry forward looking for things. And there are no things to find yet because Bachi is still happily sitting in his base. Now the raiding cavalry show up. There are, yeah, there's a few units here. He could... he's attacking the wall, and he could just run right through. There's a hole right here. So low hit point villagers here from the earlier forest fire. Pretty close so far. Just looking at the numbers. 33 to 30. 2 vills behind. CraggHack is. Military is pretty even. Looks like, though, Bachi is probably doing a little bit better job again. Managing kind of the game here where he's cut unit protection and is jumping heroic age, and CraggHack is not close to following, so this does create a bit of a window if CraggHack realizes, which it would be tough to, in that right now Bachi has 1,300 resources in a technology. There is a timing here. Not a big one, though, where he could come up here and push Bachi back. Because CraggHack has 20 more military pot, but CraggHack's so scared of the pressure that he's just sitting back. But yeah, there's a window. He could be pushing in on this. He's got... Ooh, this is a big pick here, though. Ooh, doesn't quite get the path blocking yet that he needs. Coming around the corner. 1 vill. 2. Only 2. So spread a lot of damage onto those villagers. And in the end, we'll lose a few raiding cavalry on the way out. Could have just a little bit better in the path blocking, where his army was here. Could have just got him right here and forced, you know, probably a little bit more deaths, but watch out, he's misclicked or something and losing units. And Now, if I'm CraggHack, you can't run your units back. Because that just means Bachi can come forward and attack. And that's what he should do. He's aged up. Killed some units. Bachi should really be coming forward. He's got flaming weapons. He's an age ahead. We've got some macro difficulties with CraggHack here where he's got 1100 gold, 500 wood, and not enough food to age up. He's ahead 5 in villagers, but running out of time. I'm a bit surprised it's taking Bachi so long to attack here. Looks like he's contenting himself just to kind of wall up a little bit. I don't know if he's worried about these units that... Yeah, okay, he's noticed. The raiding cavalry are coming again. There's a risk here now, though, where the raiding cavalry could get trapped and die. Or no, they're up here. Ooh. Alright, they get out. I think generally, yes. I think your top players, Arios, really understand when they can attack and take the advantage. Not that like 1600 to 1700 are bad players at all. They're still really good, like, you know, compared to the average. But yeah, I think from 1600 to above, really the difference is just decision making. Decision making and probably some more just general play mistakes here, like we're seeing with Bachi with his just, he's got some resource. I mean, why have 20 villagers on wood? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and he's in some trouble here. Scotty's coming up, but like she's coming like a minute and a half too late. Alright, you can use your throwing axeman here to maybe to cause some problems on the other side of these walls. Now he's up, but yeah, you can't just use frost here because that doesn't get you the gold mine. CraggHack's in a tough spot. This economy. Oh, you don't want to walk your frost giant forward here like this. That's easy to do, and oh, he just dies. It's easy to forget about your waypoint for your temple when the free myth unit starts coming out. So really here, what like CraggHack's only chance here is to come forward with a fast army, dive the gold mines, and get a frost on this army on the other hand. Like, I think if he just meets army to army, he just won't win. Nice little choke here, though. Like, these Hersier maybe having a bit of a hard time, yeah, fitting through this. This is a really nice spot for him. And Bachi got dragged in a little bit too far and took quite a few losses, actually. Gotta be careful. I mean, we got these villagers that are literally just right here. Oh, no. Lost a few on the way out. Get them out. Okay. Deletes the building. Well, you can't fight with your dwarves here. I think he's doing it just as, like, a tank to try to win this fight. It's close. It's close. I think Bachi might have the numbers, but it's the myth units that are going to be problems. Oh, just clicked a little bit. Come on, you got to get on these throwing axemen here, though. Oh, this is a close fight. Just the problem is he lost villagers coming into this. Alright, he does win the fight, but At what cost? Because now he's down 13. There's all these villagers here. Unless I don't think CraggHack has any idea these villagers are over here, so he's probably going to just go jump back and be defensive because he's really worried about his gold mine. And still we've got this, what's 24 on wood?
Yeah.
You know, you could make some farms. Yeah, it doesn't know they're here, so it doesn't know that he could have hit that. But wow, we are like way popped again as far as military. Like Bachi just has a huge military advantage again. I'm gonna guess, and I haven't really looked, that his eco upgrades are better again. Yeah, because it looks like his just economy is better, so much better again this game. You know, probably what you do here with Frost in this situation is try to get a fight where Bachi's committed and then just Frost half the army. Try to trap that half and then kill the other half. But it looks like CraggHack is gold blocked, or could very easily be. 2,700 wood. Interesting to see the goatee here, but they don't really want to be over here because the raiding cavalry can just run in on them. All right, nice to slip through that wall, but yeah, I don't even know if he wins this fight against this half of the army. You've got a random Jarl here. The throwing axe will just kind of walk in, and that's GG. Bachi with another win. Kind of a very methodical approach to both of these games here, where he's not really being reckless at all, just kind of fundamentally very sound. And I think, you know, we're seeing why he won his division in the regular season. It's just some very, very, at least these two games, just very consistent gameplay. I think I'm gonna guess it's going to be economy again, which was Red's mistake in the first game, was just falling behind economy. But let's take a look and see. He's actually ahead. A bit surprised. I guess he did get those early Vil kills. But I think I'm certainly not a Norse, you know, you know, what do they call, what's that word, aficionado or something, connoisseur, whatever it is. I mean, his mistake is, so he's way behind in the age up here. He took a lot of bad military losses early. I mean, not a ton, but enough to put him behind to where even though he was slower to age up and had a bigger army, I mean, there's room here where if he just attacks, he could do something. He just didn't know he had more units. And then lost some right before, or stopped making them or something. Like, he didn't really even make a whole lot of units either, but then was way behind. It's probably more so just, this is 2,000 wood here that he can't do anything with. And he maybe even sold some. I guess I don't know if I can tell in here. But not that he played bad, he just, some more like fundamental economic mistakes. I don't have to go back to this page. So that's game 2. We'll see what happens in game 3 here. Just because I have 5 games doesn't mean there actually were 5 games. Tricky like that. All right, game 3 here. Another Norse war. All right. I like Norse wars. They tend to be pretty aggressive. Freyr. Bachi over to Freyr. CraggHack staying at Loki. So really should be able to. I mean, if you're kind of looking at it as each player plays with their best gods first, I mean, Bachi's now going to be on his third best god, and CraggHack should be able to, at least pick up a win with what he considers to be, one of his best gods. But we'll see. Bachi, he's been pretty consistent. Played a lot of, let's pull up our notepad here. So Bachi with Freyr was 4-1 with Freyr. So maybe he's kind of saving his best for last here, because he won with Thor, won with Loki already, and now he's working on Freyr. And CraggHack, hasn't really played much Loki during the regular season. Just because there's 5 games, like I said, doesn't mean they win. My source always gets me dummy games to fill the series in if they need to be filled. So if it's a 3-game series, he'll just send 2 random wrecks and in with the pile. So we don't know. See, I know. Since I very rarely over the years have ever been able to watch, like live tournaments and stuff. I've got this. This is like a well-oiled machine. It's either Joey Bads that gets them to me or Blackadder, and Blackadder got them to me today. Appreciate that. I was nice to get Joey Bads to take advantage of him to spend time to help me out, because you can't, when you're getting favors from people, you can't just keep asking them for the same favors. Like, you got to mix it up so that they think like, oh, they're not just relying on me. They're getting it done themselves too. So, you'll be more likely to help, when in reality, what they don't know is that you just got like a side buddy to also do favors for you. So, as long as they don't, of course, now I'm outing myself. But yeah, as long as your side buddies don't know about each other, you can kind of flip-flop between the two of them and get what you need from both. That's a secret in life. You could try that with women too, but that will backfire at some point. I mean, if you get caught with that, it's kind of game over. If you get caught kind of, just taking advantage of your friends and that they keep helping you out, then it's just kind of it's smarter than you, and they can only be mad at themselves. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. What kind of relics are we getting this time? Ranged soldiers are cheaper. Well, I'm glad the Norse is getting that. I guess, does that count for throwing axemen? Probably. Got a relics. Oh, we're getting a second town center. So he goes Loki to make it look like he's being super aggressive, and then grabs a town center, and we are on. Yeah, what is this? Blue Lagoon, it looks like. Second town center here is pretty greedy. Though our Freyr player kind of has no idea what's going on right now, so he's kind of waiting for this pressure to come. And it's not coming, and now he's just kind of realized that, it's actually kind of a little bit intriguing, because this decision to switch into the hill fort and the town center here is really completely blind. He has no idea that this town center over here is being grabbed. Like, say CraggHack has just like has been massing army this entire time and just kept it out of sight. Like, theoretically, there could be a wave of much larger army coming here to put a stop to all this. But, well, I mean, we know there isn't. But Bachi, I think, is trying to confirm that his guess is correct, and he does get the information he needed. So now he kind of knows, all right, yeah, this is the right thing. Good to fortify up this position. You got a couple gold mines pretty close. No hunt, though. Not a lot of hunt. I mean, this town center though doesn't really protect anything. Like we don't even have like gold mines over here. It's a lot to protect. Yeah, kind of a useless town center. Really. Let's see if he forgets his eco upgrades or something. Yep, got pickaxe, hand axe. Got pickaxe, hand axe. You know, never really been a fan of using spy on the gold villagers. Because really, a good player should know the timings of when this mine ends. And should also know to be checking on the other gold mines. So that, you know that, around 9.5, 10 minutes, the starting mine runs out and then they show up at the other gold mines and then, you just check them. So I always prefer seeing it on the enemy army. They could save you so much. You know where the raiders would be coming. You know where his army is so that you can attack where his army isn't. And we are getting Rig Thula that makes buildings train units faster. That works for everything? Yeah, including advancing to the next stage. Guess this hunt though back here. We did not see that hunt to begin with. Lots of hunt down on this side of the map. I don't think that CraggHack has scouted that pack of hunt. The deer zebra, that tells me it's right here. Because I don't think Bachi has actually seen it. Yeah. That pack of hunt is right here. Yeah, these hearse here, they're tough. They count, even though they're a hero, they do count as infantry. So anything that counters infantry would get a bonus against them. So like your axemen, your throwing axemen, would be hard counters to them. Glad he's killing this wall here. Yeah, not knowing about this might be a problem for CraggHack. Oh, he does scout it now. He sent something down there to scout it. Yeah, Jolly Man, I'm not a betting man, but I would put money down that a DoD player will win this. Because, I mean, CraggHack, he's not showing the tag here because, well, the game doesn't like to show the tag. But it looks like CraggHack is way behind an army right now. It's because he's going up braggy. Those are my kind of bets I like to make, and I've been making some of those. The online gambling. I mean, if you're in any way can't stop, don't do it. But essentially, I'm using multiple online gambling's services, and I'm getting their promos and basically betting the promos against each other, so I'm guaranteed to win. I'm not like making millions or even thousands, but it's been a nice little bonus sum for me. Yeah, I know. One of my friends actually in college. Oh, he finds the walling Ulsark here. One of my friends used to play Fortnite on some site where you would bet on yourself against somebody else. Like you'd be matched in like the Battle Royale. He gets a raid, I guess, courtesy of this spy here. So essentially you and your opponent would launch into the Battle Royale, and you'd bet on yourself as to who would get more kills. He claims he did well, but then he also said he stopped. I feel like if he were doing well, he wouldn't have stopped. Or maybe he was smart enough to know to stop when he was ahead. But I don't, knowing him, I don't think that's true. That would be interesting. Like an Age of Mythology where you bet on yourself to win the next game. All right. Both players are walling off the map. We have a second Asgardian fortress being dropped to further add defensive on CraggHack's side of the map. And these two players, I thought we would see like a, another classic Norse war where players are just battling to the bitter end. And this is more of this is like a pseudo, like, what you used to see in Egyptian wars, just booming and walling and not a whole lot happening. It's hard to keep up with Freya in this, though, because his technologies are all cheaper. Norse are strong. Their economies may be the strongest because they have good gather rates. They also have the dwarves for the bonus gather rate on gold. And then, of course, their military units build, so that saves more resources than you'd think. But then Norse's kind of fatal flaw is that if they lose their army in a set of buildings, it's very hard to come back. So they're very strong, but also kind of like brittle at the same time, where like if there were to be a fight here and CraggHack were to lose his army and then also lose this, like he can't really simply just retreat or like reinforce, because now half of his buildings would be dead. In order to build more, he needs infantry to build more. So it's kind of interesting in that you've got that weakness, that strength weakness kind of a thing with their bonus. But yeah, I'm trying to, wow, we're just aging up hell here. Bachi has a huge army. Just not doing anything with it. Like, he's very cautious here. I guess maybe he's happy just to go into late game, knowing that all of his late game techs will be cheaper. These rock giants are so good. This is a good move here to force the issue. Got some herdmen. You got to get these throwing axemen over, but you see, CraggHack can't really fight this. Well, there's nice troll here on the back line, actually. Bachi got a little too distracted by this stupid hill fort, and in the end doesn't even kill it. Plus 15% hit points. I think that might have saved it from going down. Yeah, it did. That relic kept that up. So yeah, that was actually a bad turn of events there for Bachi. Having a huge one and not using it relatable. You can reuse a god as long as you don't win with the god. So you can, as long as you keep losing, you can keep using it. And now we've got Nidhogg in, and do we have, are any of these icons the age up? No. Got the Nidhogg doing his flying special attack that kind of just flies them into nowhere. And CraggHack's suddenly got an advantage, which is really weird to see. First time in this series. Nidhogg comes flying up. Roasting Vills. And Bachi's the one who's behind the 8-ball now. Gotta watch out though. You got the heroes here, but he's gonna come out just attack the gold. Yeah. Uh-oh, he's distracted though. Isn't what you want to do with your Nidhogg. Doesn't he have the special to slide away? Got the ballista. Nidhogg is almost dead though. Yeah, there he goes. Not a ton of value out of it, I guess enough though. Maybe enough. Dwarves coming forward for this gold mine. Oh, the big special? No, not that way. You could have got it all on this. Toss the fireballs over here for no real reason. All right. Gets control of another gold mine. We've got some raiding berserks down here. Have they done anything? Doesn't look like it because we're still at 100 population or 100 villagers. Got a lot of sleeping villagers over here. Oh, we've got the burning. Granite blood. Oh, CraggHack. He's got. Wait. What in the world happened? What happened? I mean, I guess my first question is why. I mean, he comes stupidly to this forward gold mine. What's wrong with this one? But he's not even blocked off of resource. Like, yeah, I mean, maybe the unit composition, but I'm really confused by this. Is this really the end? I mean, is it like a disconnect, or did he just give up? Because like he's got champion upgrades. Like as long as he just transitions into cavalry here, he's in a fantastic spot. His just problem is that for some reason he sent his villagers to the middle of the map. I don't know if maybe I don't know. This one kind of baffles me. I gotta take a look at that. Like maybe there was a restore that happened. Maybe this was a disconnect. I gotta go to this next game and see if there's a game 4. Otherwise, we'll just say, yeah, that's it. Huh. I didn't, well, the series is over just like that, and we will give Bachi his 3-0 there. That was unexpected. The game was not over. Like he was ahead. All right, well, that's that series. Here's the good news for you, though. I'm going to turn this off, and because this one was so short, we can go into the next semifinals series. I'm splitting it into 2 casts, so we can. It's easier for me. Same thing I did yesterday, or the other day. So give me a little bit of time and 5 minutes, and I'll be back with the next one. So